Hey guys, excuse me. Welcome in, welcome in. Hey, happy Saturday. Welcome back, welcome back. Nuestra familia is in the building. Welcome back. Hope everybody's doing well today. Welcome in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, I am mom of three. I am a mom of three boys. I have a 24-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 5-year-old. I talk about trending topics, I talk about real life. And this is a safe place, no judgment. I like to have fun. I do have game nights as well. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Please double tap that screen. I greatly appreciate it. Today's topic is a little deep, is about our childhood and our children's future. You know, I was just looking some stuff up like I always do, and this topic, intrigued me. So here I am. So we're going to be talking about something that looks innocent on the surface, kids, TV, and social media, but behind it are stories that, you know, will make you think twice. So, grab a snack, share this live, and let's talk about what's really been happening to kids in entertainment. From Nickelodeon's Dark Secrets to the silent mental health crisis social media is creating now. So, yeah, what if you watch cartoons growing up? Did you watch Nickelodeon? And if you did, what Nickelodeon show did you grow up watching? Facts. Yeah, the stories behind the scenes. Yeah, it will blow your mind. And it does a lot of, the entertainment business alone has led to a lot of people, their mental health not being all that as they're growing up, it leads to their adulthood. We have seen a lot of people we grew up to, that we grew up with, have mental health crisis. And some of them have grown out of it and were able to get help, and some are still growing out of, some are still dealing with it. Amanda. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think more so I saw other people watching it. Like like the Rugrats and things like that. Kids that I used to, my friends' kids, like before I had kids, I used to see them watching like the Rugrats and things like that. Yeah. iCarly, yeah, definitely. Yep. Hey Dude, the Amanda Show. Yeah. I think I was watching more on like the background, like watching kids that I used to be around or babysit or like my little sisters. So I not that I like sat down watching it, but yeah, I watched some stuff. Um but definitely iCarly. Sometimes I used to, my kids used to be watching it, and then I catch myself just sitting there watching it while they go and play with something else, and then I'd be like, "What the hell am I doing?" But yeah, yeah, I definitely remember the Rugrats and things like that. Welcome in, welcome in. Please double tap that screen. Let me know if you watched Nickelodeon growing up. What show did you watch? Don't be afraid to come on in and engage. You're welcome here. And if you're a parent, how much time do your kids spend on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or just on social media if they do have social media? Do you know how much time your kids spend on that social media? Hey, Jamaica, sis. Thanks for coming in. The Amanda show used to get to me all the time with the theme song. Manda, 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 Manda. Manda. Yeah. That's how they reel you in. They gotta make it catchy. But definitely. Jamaica, today's topic is about are kids safe anymore? The hidden dangers behind Nickelodeon and social media, TikTok, you know. But yeah, my little one, definitely 5-year old, does not be on social media. You know, I do not have TikTok or any of that downloaded on his tablets. So he definitely doesn't watch it. Now, of course, the two older ones, I'm sure they be on it. And since they're 18 and 24, it's not like I monitor what they're watching anymore. So, but my 5-year old, definitely not. Definitely not. Jamaica says, Lily says her boys are age 9 and 6 and they do not have social media at all. I remove YouTube from them, but still use it sometimes. But my son have TikTok once, but I had him remove it. Yeah, there's a lot of things on these social media streets that kids shouldn't be watching, and at a certain you can't always watch them every minute of the day. So it's best to not even, have it downloaded on their stuff. Jamaica says she watched Nickelodeon and Disney Channel when her kids were growing up and still catch myself watching now. Yes, right? You something will just come on the screen and you'll be like and you'll just keep watching it. And then after a few minutes it's like, what the heck am I watching? But no, they do be interesting. But I definitely have Disney Plus. Well, my son's father does. Jackson's father does, and we use his. But yeah, so I could watch all the good stuff through Disney Plus. Jamaica said her children are 30, 18, and 16. So yes, they are on it. Yeah, they're at that age. They're on it. Gotta watch it though, because like I said the other day, there's a lot of bullying going on through these social media streets. So you don't want them to be bullied and you don't want them to be the bullies. So the younger one gotta watch them. Even though they're 16, like the 16 or the 18-year-old, not so much because technically they're an adult and definitely the 18-year-old. But the 16-year-old is still right there in between. Gotta, be careful. Yeah, the old school shows are definitely it. um Yeah, they're great. So, I know a lot of people heard of that Quiet on the Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV. I don't know if you guys got to watch that, but it revealed the abuse and the manipulation on Nickelodeon sets. The former child stars described toxic, degrading work environments, inappropriate jokes, dialogues, adult themes. I know a lot of us look back at certain cartoons and shows that we used to watch, and you do catch those little, dialogues and inappropriate jokes that us as children we thought were funny, but now as adults we really understand it. So it was like, what the hell were we watching growing up, Um, they also said the lack of safety and oversight, and then it was basically like parents were handing, for that check, parents were handing over their children to these people. Allegations of SA misconduct, Drake Bell's case, Brian Peck, he was convicted. Dan Schneider's controlling and manipulating behavior towards minors. You know, when we were kids, Nickelodeon was the dream, right? You'd see these funny, talented kids and think, wow, they made it. But behind the camera, some of them were being emotionally broken down, they were being groomed. And what's worse, many of those same adults still have careers today. Some apologized, some denied the allegations, but the damage is already done, you know? The damage is already done. Please double tap the screen. Please double tap the screen for me if you're on a mobile phone, if you're on your cell phone, if you're on a computer, please hit that like button for me. So yeah, a lot of people are going through emotional and a lot of different mental health issues now, from growing up in the entertainment business. Hey, break room. Yeah, a lot of people are going through mental health issues. Look at Britney Spears to this day. You know, it's crazy. Like, we thought that she would get over it, but I don't know if it was being in the business or it was just her, family life, but she's another one that needs some, help, and I hope that she does get that help. How would you have felt if your child was working on one of those shows? Do you think these networks should face lawsuits or accountability now? What you guys think? If your kids wanted to be in the entertainment business, would you let them? Thanks, Jamaica, for sharing. I greatly appreciate you. Let me know, guys, if you have children, or if you don't have children and you did have children and they wanted to be in the business, would you let them? Would you allow them to? Breakroom says yes, but monitored closely like Brandy Norwood mama did. Facts. Yes. And Brandy is a great person to this day, and she's doing very well. Nuestra familia, Lily says yes and no. Yeah, I think you just have to be, close. Not handing over your kids just for the paycheck. Make sure that you're there, their dad is there, their sister's there, somebody, an adult figure is there. Hey, Callie, welcome in, welcome in. Before I thought I wanted to be a child star. No way after everything I learned. Very dark side. I'm good. That that's facts, right? But I think if anybody that wants to be in that kind of business definitely needs a strong support system. And if you're a child, you definitely need, you know, your parents there with you. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, one of the family members definitely has to be by your side at all times. Can a can a can a company really say we didn't know what kids are being exploited on their own sets? No, no. They just put, they're just turning their shoulder the other way. They're just, closing their eyes to what they don't want to admit happens or happened, you know? When you watch interviews with these actors, you can see the trauma. Like you could see it in the eyes, you could see it in their demeanor. Like, um, you know, I feel bad, but even Justin Bieber, like he has so much potential, but you can tell, he has issues as well, you know? Allegedly. Anything I say is allegedly, is just based on my opinion and my opinion only. Yeah, big time issues. Facts. They want to hide it. Yep. The smiles we grew up loving were hiding something deep. You know, a lot of them were being groomed. Like Break Room said, Brandy, her mother was not playing that shit. She was close. She wasn't letting them just do whatever with them. She was right there. Tia and Tamara are also, their family was always there. They didn't just hand them over for that money. Yeah, Brandy is okay, but look at Ray J. But Ray J's issues are, you know, inside of him. You can't help. He chose to be that way, unfortunately. Yeah, for the money, they look the other way. Yep. Jamaica says that she believes that some parents know what's going on, but for the money, they will ignore. Yep. That's facts. Yep. Their minds are all messed up, you know? Like, and it does make you think, like, how many kids in show business today are going through the same thing? I don't know. With so many allegations going on, do you think that they are, you know, um, not doing too much like they used to do, or you think they're getting better at hiding it now? Because, a lot of people, they wait 15 years, 20 years to open up about what they went through instead of opening up in the moment. You know, do you think that is the entertainment business is still the same now and it's just easier to hide, or they're better at hiding it? Yeah, Ray J is a Ray J is a mess. And now he's hanging out with Krishan. Two messy people together. Ay ay ay. He, Callie said that I'm right, but I'm just saying the fame messes them up, or the industry. Yeah, you're right. And Ray J has a lot of potential too. All his businesses do well. So he definitely has that business savvy in him, but something is allegedly wrong with his mental. And was it because of the industry? We won't know because we're not doctors, but it's not hard to tell that he has some stuff going on with him. Lily says it's like they say money and fame eats your life away. It messes up mentally, emotionally, and physically. Yep, that is facts. What you think? Should parents even let kids get into acting anymore? Well, you guys basically answered that one. Uh, I know a lot of you guys say yes, as long as one of the parents stay close with them in every way, right? Yeah, you another child actor is Amanda Bynes. Do you guys see how she is recently? She's another one. I'm so glad everything that Lindsay Lohan went through that she overcame. Now she's a mom. She's back into acting again. Yeah. Jamaica said that she feels they are not hiding it now. They are promoting it, if you ask me. Lily says she'd rather be broke and a nobody. Come on now. Amanda is fried, Callie says. God forgive me. It's not funny. It's not funny. But yeah, she is fried. She is definitely fried. What the helly? Yeah, poor Amanda. I thought she would be like a Lindsay. Like she would go through it and then come out of it. But yeah, she's definitely fried. She is fried. And back then, danger was on the set, but now it's right in every kid's hand. That's where the real concern begins. You know, some facts of the TikTok algorithms target emotional content, anger, sadness, obsession, because it keeps users hooked. Yeah, that's what Lily was saying, Callie. She loved the Amanda show. She loved it too. Yes, studies have found that new teen accounts get mental health related or harmful content within minutes. For you feeds often show diet, anxiety, and fear based videos, even when users don't search for them. They like to target people. They like to target our teens. They like to target our kids. YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels work the same way. They know who to target. They want you know those negative things to be seen first. Some parents are even suing platforms for their child's unaliving or self harm related to algorithm exposure, because what popped up on their screens led to some bad tragedies. And that's something that none of us want to go through. We don't want our children to go through, you know. Hey, J. Lou. Happy Saturday. Yeah, you need my number. Yeah. Aw, thanks for thinking about me. Thanks for thinking about me. Lily says that's true because my son, when he was on TikTok, he used to watch like other kids drawing, and all of a sudden, half ass women will come up, shake what, like what? Nah, it had to go. Wow, yeah, that's crazy. You see, it definitely comes through. They know, they like this technology knows. So nowadays is not Dan Schneider behind the camera anymore. It's an algorithm that sets the tone, that sets you up, that sets us up, you know and m- puts things on the screen for our children to watch. That's why it is important that we are watching what our kids download, what our kids are watching, you know? Thank goodness Jackson. And Jackson's smart. He could freaking type in things. You know how these kids are. They could type in things that they want to watch, but just keep an eye on it. Thank goodness that he's almost always next to me. So even if I'm on, YouTube or whatever, I'm still looking over and making sure that he's on, things he's supposed to. And don't think just because they're watching Mickey Mouse or Minecraft or Roblox or whatever, there's also alternate videos that look just like, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or Minecraft or things like that, but are adult versions, you know? And so you have to pay attention, listen to what they're talking about on the video, because there has been plenty of times that I have, Jackson is watching some like Mickey Mouse shit, and I'm listening, and all of a sudden you hear cursing, and it's a different version, and I'll be like, nope, you better change that, block that channel, hide that channel, and go back to the kid version. I say no, that's for adults, you know so you definitely have to watch it. Yes, yes. Roblox is horrible because also people could chat with your kids. JLu said when she worked at Instagram, there were so many lawsuits. Yep. They got porn on Roblox. Yep, that's a fact. They're able to like I said, communicate with your children. Yep, they will circle them in later. Your kid could be watching Mickey Mouse and 10 minutes later. Yep. Roblox has a big lawsuit against them right now. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. So, and it doesn't and the algorithm, it doesn't care if your child is depressed, anxious, or struggling. The algorithm doesn't know. It's a computer. It's a, like it's a computer system. They don't know, and they don't care about what kids are going through, you know? So it just wants them to scroll because every second they watch is another dollar made. When it all comes down to it, it's all about that moolah, the money, those dollars, you know? Yeah, it's definitely scary. Definitely. It's freaking horrible. It's horrible. So, do you ever notice or do you notice any mood swings or changes after your kids spend hours on their phone? Or even if you tell them to take a break from it, that their moods just totally change. Like they're basically getting an addiction to their phones, being on social media, the tablet. Oh my goodness. There's sometimes that I take away the tablet from Jackson and he's only 5 years old and he'll throw a big tantrum if his dad picks him up on Fridays like after school. I don't pack his tablet and all that in his book bag for him to take to school, but he'll see his dad and he'll throw a tantrum sometimes because he knows that he's going to go with his dad and that his dad doesn't have his tablet. I said hablet. But he doesn't have his tablet. These kids are getting addicted to these electronics too. Yep. They have them tablets. Yeah, it's very scary. That's why old school board games is the way to go. Yeah, facts, right? Gotta get them into that. But it's so hard to, like, I can't say that the tablet was all bad for Jackson because he has learned so much because he is into watching the learning stuff. So, for him, he is into watching the learning stuff. He used to watch Sesame Street. He watches Number Blocks, things like that. So, um, so it's not all bad for Jackson at the moment. I could say that much. And as long as you keep an eye on it, and limit their screen time. But also the kids are so freaking sharp with technology. Yeah, that's a yep. Yep. That's their future. Technology is their future, you know? Yes, see, Lily says her daughter is into the tablet, but with educational games. Yeah, and you could limit it that like I have the parental control that as soon as Jackson tries to download something, I have to not only put in my pin number, my passcode or whatever, but I'll get an email to approve it or not. So he can't download anything without me, like any apps or whatever without my approval. What did you do for your son to not have mood swings anymore? If you don't mind me asking, my 6-year-old cousin showed me how to use my new iPhone. Your 6-year-old cousin. That's crazy, right? I swear, that's what I said. They're getting younger and younger and better with this technology. It's like they come out your womb, they open their eyes right away, and they're ready to go on a tablet. But he helped you pick the best version. He knew all the differences between them. Wow. Your 2-year-old knows how to do everything with her little finger on the tablet. Yeah, right? They be getting stuff like you be like, how you got that? They are so smart these days. You highly recommend for parents to have their children take a digital footprint course, even watch a video on it. Lily wants to know what's that. You took your kids to one when they were in a elementary school, taught them how everything you post is out there forever. Yep, that's a fact. That's that's very interesting and good to know. Yeah, I didn't even know there was something like that going on. Yeah, a digital footprint course. Yeah, definitely look that up. What is it? A digital footprint course. So you guys think social media, I mean, they do have like a age limit on social media, but there's ways to work around it, unfortunately. So the question, should social media be age limited like alcohol or driving? For the most part it is. It's just that, they work around it. They find a way around it. Put in a fake profile, put in a fake age, put in a fake name, and there you go. It's not like they ask for ID for every single channel or page that's made. How can parents even compete with these apps when kids get hooked so young? Yeah, right. We stay quiet. We looking it up. I was typing it. I was just typing it in the chat. A digital footprint course, so people can be aware. If they watch the chat later, they can look it up. Jamaica says her ex-husband took her kids to one when they were younger. Oh, so that's good. So everybody listening, if you're watching the replay, if you have children that are hooked on social media or technology, take them to a digital footprints course and let them learn. Everything that goes on the internet stays on the internet. Like my one of my internet brothers says, this world wide web is worldwide for a reason. Anything you put on it stays on it forever, and it is worldwide. Everybody from all around this world sees it. that course stuck with your daughter and she is very calculated with what she posts, never posts with a drink in her hand, etc. Lily says, or they can a make up a birthday. Yep, that's what they do, because because your niece that got caught on TikTok made up her birthday, and she's only 14. Yeah, yep. And you got to be careful because they post pictures, they post TikToks. They might have their school uniform on, they might be near their school. you know and these predators, if they know where they are, if they happen to just look it up, they know where they are, where they're located. And then they'll look up the information, see what time school gets out, and you just never know. So, yes, thanks, J. Lou, for that information. You just never know what will bite you in the butt later. Let's say they want to run for mayor years later and someone shares a video of you twerking, right? Or in college, or if you want to get into college and they looking at your social media stuff, if you're trying to get into a prestigious college or thing like that, or any kind of master program. Yeah. Unfortunately, that happened to your friend's daughter. She was denied a scholarship. Wow. See, it does happen. Yeah, I'll definitely find one for Jackson to watch. That's why we have a family game at least once a month to get the younger generation into the board game, bowling, karaoke. Yeah, that's a good idea, Jamaica. Have them sit down for a little while and put their damn technologies down, their electronics. Yep, that's a great idea. She was caught on TikTok talking to a whole grown man asking to meet her privately. Wow. Oh my goodness. And then you see the things that have been going on lately with all these women missing or unalive from meeting people they don't know. Yeah. These kids definitely need to wake up. And the parents need to try to monitor closely. Because these kids, unfortunately, they could use their friends' phones. you know if they go to another parent's house that are not as strict as you don't know if they're monitoring them like you do. Yeah, that's crazy. So even parents, let's say your kid is up for a scholarship or something big, they are looking at they're looking at the parents, they're looking at their entire family, their entire environment that person is in. Yep. And Lily says she's glad they caught her because he kept telling her that to prove her love for him, she had to give him what's in between her legs. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. My daughter in law school, when I meet her peers, parents, and add them on social media, I don't want them to see BS. They will judge my daughter. Yeah, that's a fact. Yep. Keep it cute. Keep it cute and professional. That's true. He was acting like he was 15 and turns out he was an old man with a record. How you guys found the guy's identity? How did you guys find the identity? And did anything, come from that? Wow, that's very scary. But yeah, I agree with that family game night. Definitely. Family game night, go out, bowling, take them to actual, like an arcade, video games, just to get them out the house. Oh, your sister's friend is a cop. So she found his identity through his IP address. Did she find his information through his IP address? Oh, it was recent. Wow. I don't know what ended up happening. That was recent. I'll keep you updated. She was at my house playing dominoes when she. Wow. Oh, goodness. I hope something comes of it. Because if he's doing it to her, trying to lure her, he's definitely doing it to others. Freaking scumbag. I mean, sorry. Sorry. But, but this digital grooming is definitely, you know, a thing. As you can see, what Lily said, definite digital grooming is definitely a thing. Online communities need to stop normalizing the dangerous trends, starvation challenges, oversharing personal info. There's definitely things like AI gener AI generated child content. And this year alone, 2025 saw increases in AI child exploitation imagery on many forums. This AI shit is definitely getting out of hand, and it is disgusting. The other day, your son said, "Mom, do you remember our evening walks?" He told me that was some of his best memories. Just wanted to get them out the house and off the games. Ah, so my little walks with Jackson, that'll probably be him remembering when I when we go on our walks. Yeah, see, the things that you think are just little, little things to get take a break from, them being inside are core memories for them. That's cool. Yeah. My 24-year-old, he don't forget anything. He remembers every little thing we did when he was younger, where I took him to, every outing. Like, he remembers everything. My 18-year-old, not so much. I don't know what the heck. I'd be like, "You remember this? You remember that?" Nope, nope. I'm like, "What the hell?" And you're younger. Jediah remembers everything. You don't remember nothing. Like, come on, do you know how much shit we did? How much fun we had? But and many parents feel helpless, because like I said, sometimes you're not around your children. So you don't know what they're doing at school. I mean, a lot of schools do block those certain social media sites, but they can go to a library. They can, borrow their friend's computer, laptop, phone, and do their thing, have secret um their secret channel, secret page that nobody knows about but their friend. So the same way parents of Nickelodeon's child stars did back then, parents these days feel helpless as well. So from kids being exploited on TV to being exploited by social media, the pattern is the same. Adults making money off children's vulnerability, you know? But let's take it deeper. How is all this affecting kids' mental health and families right now? As a parent at that time, wait, I didn't, JLo says, she didn't have money to take them out. You would do picnics with them. That really made me happy. He said that, oh, I felt I was lacking. Ah, look at that. And those were special times for him. That's great. My Jackson is always asking me to take him on a picnic too. I'm gonna have to do that for him again when it gets warmer. I'm gonna have to go, make us have like a little picnic or even buy like a little barbecue, at the park or whatever. and have a little picnic so he could get those kind of memories too. As a parent, sometimes at the time not even realizing the walks meant something to them, and they would remember that. Yeah. Yeah, her kids are grown, but you could still do things as adults together, like you did, like the trip and stuff like that. Things like that will be core memories for them as well, going on trips with them and having fun. That's your new thing, going on trips with them and having fun. Your mama walks with you and and you 37. Yeah. And when they come to see you, you could go on your trail walks. That's another memory that they could have, you know? That's why I want to get back on my feet because, I love traveling. So I definitely, that's something that I want to, continue doing with my kids. Continue traveling and making those memories, you know? A lot of things happening now are how is affecting our kids' mental health right now. Many this meant a lot of children that are actually, going through childhood depression right now, anxiety. There has been a lot of unaliving rates, especially since COVID. That's why it's very important to talk to your children, let them know that you're there for them, that if they're feeling a certain way, to please talk to you, and do take your time to have those fun times with them. Go for walks like J. Lou said, have game nights like Jamaica said and Lily does, it's important. Yeah, see, J. Lou went to Vegas with her family and they had a ball. Yeah, she came back sick and she had to drop out of the walking challenge and everything. They had such a great time. Yeah. They on to their next chapter, college. But they have breaks and stuff like that, so hopefully you see them and you make memories when they come back home. If they come back for the holidays, if you go visit them, just make those, great memories with them. There is an uptick in kids on medication. Yeah, definitely. That's what they do now. Your kid acts up a little bit. Oh, they have ADHD. You need to put them on medication. They tried that with Jackson last year because he was, he's lively. You guys see, they tried that with Jackson right away. They wanted me to get him evaluated and things like that. I put my foot down. I'm like, listen, he's only in pre-K. He was just in daycare, from 8 in the morning to almost 6 at night in daycare, not structured. He has to transition into being in a structured environment like school. I said, I'm not going to run and get him evaluated and put him on medication. And his doctor was on the same boat. She's like, no, he's too young, you know? She said that it was good that I put my foot down because right away, that's the first thing these schools want parents to do. And no, that's not how it goes. You have to be your child's advocate, Be their advocate and don't let them manipulate you. You never seen people have anxiety attacks when you were in school? I don't know. I think it was happier times. I don't know. Because I don't remember that either, but I think it was just happier times. Nowadays these kids let too much get to them. They're sensitive. They're different. That's why we can't coddle our children too much, because we want them to be tough. We want them to have tough skin. Do you guys recall friends having anxiety attacks when we were in school? I never seen people having, my children and I, vacations, game nights, participate in other activities. My 18-year old in college, and we just went to Chris Brown concert. It was a family affair. Oh, that sounds like fun, Jamaica. I'm Jelly. You went to see Chris Brown? I know that was fun. J. Lu says she don't think I heard anyone saying are having anxiety attacks when I was in school. My kids would say their friends didn't come to school because anxiety. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think it was different back in the days. We didn't let shit get to us. And we weren't on social media. There was no social media back then. We weren't on that shit. So there wasn't so much. What was gonna get to us? Cartoons? Yeah, there are a lot of issues these days. Girl, they tried to do that to my son at 5. ADHD meds. My grandma said, "Heck no." Yep, they did that. They definitely did that. They did that to my first one, and my first son, Jediah. But he definitely, I'm not gonna, he does have ADHD. To this day, I tell him he has adult ADHD. When you know, you know. But when you have been through having a kid that actually has it, you know the kids that don't have it. So, you know. But yeah, but that happened to you with your son that's 9. Yeah, that's just him being boy. Him being a boy. He cries for everything and is very extra exaggerating whenever something happens to him. I know. Yeah, you gotta get them out of that. I'd be like, Jackson starts crying. I'd be like, I do not want to hear that. You better go over there and cry over there. I don't do that whining stuff. I tell him. I said, you have to be tough. Please be tough. You cry when it's needed, not just because I didn't give you a snack or I told you to turn off your tablet. No, I don't think so. We're not doing that in this house. Yeah, right away, meds, meds, meds. That's the first thing that they're trying to do. Yeah, back in our day, we spent our time socializing. Yeah, definitely. We were out there socializing. We wanted to be outside. We wanted to be hanging out with our friends. Nowadays, these kids skip hanging out with their friends somewhere to stay in the house. They don't go nowhere. My 18-year-old over there, that's what he does. I'd be like, you're 18 now. Gather some friends, go to the movies, go to Dave and Buster's, go play bowling. And no, he'd rather be home. So him too. I be having to get him out sometimes because I don't want him to be socially awkward. That's another thing. They get socially awkward. You said you feel your son does have it, but I ain't gonna let them medicate him. If I gotta deal with him at home, they can too at school. Yeah, facts. Unless he's like my son, my oldest, he used to literally run around the school all damn day, like especially in first grade. He used to run out of the class, run around the school, and I used to literally get called every single day to pick him up. Every single day. It was not easy being his mom. It wasn't. I dealt with so much. as a mother. He taught me how to be a mother through all the craziness, you know? And then when I had Jordan, he's like the total opposite of my oldest. He was so like quiet, and he made it easy for me. I'm like, thank you, you know, because I go through so much with Jediah, so thank you. And then now Jackson, another Spitfire. It's like, oh my goodness. Yeah, nowadays everything is considered child abuse. Yeah, and they do get offended at everything. This freaking kid here, he gets offended at everything. I'd be like, oh my goodness, all I did was ask you to freaking get me new mop water. What the hell's your attitude? Like, dude, stop your shit. Your son says he doesn't, he'll say he doesn't want to be social today. These kids, I'm telling you, they're little entitled little brats. That's what I call them, entitled little brats. You know? But a lot of to keep a little bit on topic, the cyberbullying and the body comparisons are also big pressures for these kids. And not only, you know, does it start it sometimes it does start in the home, because if we have our, you know, our older generations, they don't know how to just, you know, realize you know, might be gaining a few more pounds or whatever. Sometimes they'll just tell you, like our grandmothers or whatever, oh, you're putting on weight, tu ta gorda, like you know, you're getting fat. Especially the Spanish people, they'll tell you to your face, tu ta gorda, and that means you're fat, you're gaining weight, like with no freaking, you know, they don't hold their tongue. Like, miss or mom, mama, or whoever. You think I don't know that I'm gaining weight? You do not have to tell me. Ryan, shut up. Your kids always tell you you're fat. You ain't fat. Your son swear he's from the hood. Your son is harder than you. Yeah, they be trying to talk like they grown men. Shit. You hope they're always safe. You don't know what the hell they're doing on these social media streets. My daughter said body image on Instagram affects her. She will take the app off for a month. Yeah, see? These social media things, the cyberbullying, the body comparison pressures, it takes a toll. Not only on our younger kids, but look, her daughter is in college. You know? It takes a toll on everybody. And our family members, sometimes they don't help, and that's where it starts. And you get, Lily says, y tú te estás poniendo vieja. That means that they're getting old. She'll tell them that they're getting old. Jamaica said that her oldest two are girls. My son is 16 and he is in his own lane. So we try to find things that he is interested in to get him out the house. But he loves music. Oh, that's good. So yeah, the concerts help him get out the house. That's good. My grandma will say those exact words to me in Spanish. See? These darn, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why. Or your neighbors. It's not even your only your family, even your neighbors. You know? Like, come on. What the hell? Yup, and in front of everyone. If we told the kids that now, they will have a meltdown. Facts, you can't tell them things like that. You can't tell these kids things like that. What? They be in their feelings already for any little thing. Can't tell your kid. Shit, yeah, and that is so true. Oh my goodness, they don't have no street smarts at all these days. Why are you always bringing him in here? What are you eating? I make a pizza. You don't want to go eat? Bye. Boy, bye. See? I told him to let's go eat. He don't want to go eat. He said, I'm going to make a pizza. He'd rather make a frozen pizza than go eat. Because I said I'm not cooking today. Heck yeah, you call me fat, I'll call you old. They shut up real quick. But then my grandma used to tell me, vieja, pero más buena que tú. That's funny. Ay, ay, ay. Jamaica said my daughter says that body image used to bother her, but because encouragement and talks from us, that now her confidence is through the roof. That's great, Jamaica, and that's exactly why talking to your children and you know being there for them, being their support, it's definitely needed. Yeah, he definitely preferred to make the damn pizza. Yeah, you know. He don't want to go eat. So he's going to make the pizza because he doesn't want to go out. These kids, these kids, these kids. Yeah, I miss my grandma too. She's in, at least my mom is spending time with her. But yeah, and there's also quiet trauma that kids, keep quiet through what they're going through. And a lot of the times they don't want to talk to us, you know? And a lot of them, they have this thing that they want to try to be like they're perfect online, but, they're going through things, quiet trauma, behind closed doors. Families need to fight to keep kids grounded in real life, give them those positive affirmations, let them know, that you're proud of them, let them know, that they're doing great, let them know what they're doing great, when they're doing great. Don't just wait for them to bring a or b or whatever. Just let just let them know in general, that they're doing great, they're great people. Yeah, quiet trauma is the worst because we can sense something's wrong. Yeah. In college, your daughter started a club called Girls with Gains. It was a weightlifting program. Oh, that's cool. Your husband's nephew doesn't speak to nobody. He's very quiet, and my sister-in-law found out he have he be having full-blown conversations with. Oh no. Oh no, yeah, that's not good, Lily. You saw I don't know if you saw that story that the boy was having like he thought he was in a relationship basically with the AI, and he landed up unaliving himself. Yeah, that's not. These kids definitely need to know those AIs are not real people. Yeah, that's freaking great. That's freaking great. Oh no. That's not great. I mean, oh, good night, Jamaica. Enjoy your date night. Thanks for passing through and thanks for your support. Yeah, check out that story. Yeah. That he was basically he fell in love with the AI. Yep. Look it up. Look it up. You definitely gotta send it to her. And they gotta not be afraid to talk to him about things, because it's very scary out there. It really is scary out there. And if the kid is always home, he doesn't know the difference between technology and reality. They they have to know. Yeah, that's why I don't be scared to tell my son anything. I'd be like, I don't care. You might not want to listen to me, but I'm your mother. And I'm going to tell you because that's what a parent is supposed to do. Let you know about not only about yourself, about your behavior, about what you're doing, what's not okay. You know, be mad at me all you want, but I'm your mother. And that's it. JLu said she got her daughter in therapy her freshman year in college. She is an overachiever and is so hard on herself. A situation happened to her and caused a meltdown. She said she worked so hard to have a perfect image. Yeah, see? If you're a perfectionist, that's another thing. Trying to be perfect in every way, in school, online, in person, with your friends. Yeah, it takes a toll on these children. It takes a toll on these children, these kids, these teens, these young adults. It takes a toll on us. So imagine. But yeah, I hope, it did help her. Ryan says social media even makes adults think it's reality. Yeah, that's a fact. He harmed himself because he believed he would go to some cyber world with her. Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. It's just crazy. I try to tell people there is a difference between social media and real life. Yeah, you can eventually meet the people that you met online in real life, but most of the time that does not happen. So, yeah, definitely have to know the difference between reality and social media, you know? What you see is not what you get, like Burger King on social media. Facts. You definitely need to know, and these kids need to know. And this AI crap is not helping, you know? And AI will actually tell you, though, that they're not whatever, but then the kids know how to, reword it for AI or whoever or Siri, say, to respond to them the way that they want, you know? But that is crazy. Hey, Tasty. Hey, TC. How are you, sis? You've been a busy woman. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that like button. Double tap the screen. Double tap the screen. Yeah, AI is a monster. It's scary. I told you guys, about that scam that was going around, that is going around, sounding just like your family members. So it's scary in it's scary in these social media streets and in real life. We used to dream of being on TV. Now every kid wants to go viral. They want to go viral. They think of anything to make them viral. Dances, things that they do, skits, whatever. They just want to go viral. They want the whole world to see them. Um, it's just crazy. But when you chase likes instead of childhood, you lose something. You lose your innocence, you lose your patience, you lose your confidence. Like J. Lou was just talking about, like, anxiety. We didn't feel anxiety when we were children because we were chasing, different things. We didn't want to chase technology and being on our phones, being on our thing. Yeah, when Nintendo came out, we were playing our Nintendo and Sega and all that. But we weren't, we were still in our innocence. We knew patience. The only impatience we had was in, trying to get Mario to hit that top of that flag at the end of, at the end of the stage. you know um Things like that, trying to freaking pass those fireballs. And confidence, many of us had a lot of confidence, when we were growing up, and we didn't have to deal with that anxiety. These kids aren't growing up. They're burning out before high school. Your mom was in Orlando last weekend with family and stayed at cousin's house. She has a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Mom of three, I will send you photos. But my mom said everything in is a photo op for her. Yeah, not for nothing. I love my mom, but my mom too. She wants to always take 50 million pictures and then post it. I'd be like, lady, enjoy the time. We don't need 50. I mean, I know pictures are memories, but it's different when you want to post them, post them, post them. Like, come on, please. She be getting mad at me because I don't be wanting to take pictures every 5 minutes. But yeah, people have kids just for social media. Yeah, that's true. Everyone wants to be famous for the wrong reasons. Yep. Your mom said that your cousin lost her shit because the 3-year-old had a brown spot on his tooth and would ruin the. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, some of these people is all about the image, 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 image. Can't even let kids be kids. Have They don't want the kids to get dirty. I dress my kid nice, but once we hit the streets, I don't expect him to stay clean. He's a kid, you know? That's why if you do dress them nice or whatever, take that picture right away before you're doing any activities, because after that, don't expect them to stay clean. Come on now. And you buy those nice shoes for them, don't expect them to not get scuffed, dirty, etc. For that, don't buy them if you're going to worry about, how they look for real. I was Ryan said he was dream chasing. He was really dream chasing as a child. Now my kids chasing social media. That's facts, right? Not saying my cousin had kids for that reason, but she became obsessed with that image. Yep. Yeah, these kids are technology driven. That's why you only stick to YouTube. It's what you make it. You could be on whatever freaking social media platforms, but it's what you make it, what you do, you know? But I do be telling my mom, people don't need to know your every damn move, lady. I mean, I know they're not after you or whatever, but people don't need to know your every move. When she checks into every place she goes to, she'll let like her people know where she's at, what she's doing, who she's with. There's sometimes, almost all the time, I don't post where I'm at, who I'm with on my personal page. I don't do that. But, she'll post everything, like if we're together, automatically, and then tag me, so automatically people know where I'm at, who I'm with, what I'm doing. I'll be like, lady, if I'm not posting it on my thing, why would you do that? Like, it's not for them to know your every damn move, mom. Hey, Allison. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. See you later, Lily. You still enjoying your family? What you gonna do? Are you cooking? What you doing, Lily? If you're still here, Ryan said he tells all his kids and his family, "Y'all the smartest, dumbest kids." You're so rude, but it's true. Your mom too, J. Lu? Oh my God, these ladies. What are we gonna do with these ladies? I'd be like, Ma, and then she get mad at me. I'm like, no, like that's not how it is, lady. You got people watching you, and you're not even famous yet. Ryan, you funny. I said, girl, J-Lu said, she said, girl, we don't need to know every move. Yeah, I be having to tell my mom. She did slow down though, because I'm like, Mom, what, you wake up, you let people know you're awake, you're making she's making breakfast, what she's making, then she'll have to show a picture of what she made. Then in the afternoon, she's getting on the train, she's telling people that she's on the train. Then when she gets to work, she's telling people she's at work. Then when she's on lunch, then when she gets out of work, get home, it's like, oh my goodness, Ma. I'd be like, and then she gets mad when I don't call her. I'm like, Mom, all I have to do is go on Facebook if I want to make sure you're all right. That's all I literally have to do. I go on Facebook, and that's the first thing I do is, all right, let me see. Let me see what my mother's doing. I don't even have to call her. Like, what the hell? Oh, my goodness. Obsession is real jealousy, too. Yeah, you told your mom she's going to be kidnapped? Yeah, right? They're the smartest, dumbest. But yeah, I'm like, Ma, come on now. People don't want to know your every damn move, what you're cooking. They don't want to see every meal you cook. Like, come on, lady. But I know she be lonely, so Facebook is what she got. And do you ever notice that people that notice even if one person unsubscribes from them or unfollows them or whatever? Like I'd be like, I don't know how you be noticing that, because if people unfollow me or whatever on Facebook, especially, I won't even notice. Like I won't notice. Who knows how long I won't notice for? Because I'm not watching my freaking Facebook numbers, especially on my personal page. Like I don't be watching that, but she knows exactly how many followers she has. She be watching every single thing. And then she figures out who it was that unfollowed her. And then she'd be like, but I blocked them. So since they unfollow me, they won't be able to see me anymore. I'd be like, Ma, you put too much energy into this. Lu said that when her mom takes photos, she texts me with all of them. I'm like, lady, I seen them already. Why do you post them? Send your photos to every. Allison said she help her get monetized because they paying too. Psh, I should, but she actually, that's the funny thing. She'll post everything for her friends, but she actually has her page private. Like she doesn't even have it that you can share like whatever she posts. She wants to be private, but letting the whole world know, letting all her friends know what she's doing. Yeah. Sounds like you as a content oh, mom ma sounds like a content creator. She probably could be. She would be, because she does like to, you know, and she does post like positive things because she's into positivity lately, you know. Especially her cousin told her the other day, with what your mother is going through, you always so happy go lucky. Like my mom is not supposed to be happy with life in general. Like, what my grandmother is going through is called old age. My grandmother has lived 95 years so far. That's a blessing in itself. Is my mother supposed to be miserable because my grandmother is aging and that's what happens when you get old? Like, come on. for her own cousin to tell her, "Oh, you seem happy go lucky." Like, especially that she was happy that she, had just moved into a new apartment. And, and she's just happy. She tries to be happy with life because she knows it can end any day. So she definitely could be a content creator because, people like to see that positivity stuff. Oh yeah, you see, that's what they do too, right? They know how to post it, but except to this person. Yeah. So he'll post photos and he'll put that everyone except you. Why she snitched on him? Yeah, she would have to make her page public if she wanted. She has to make her page public to be a content creator on Facebook or just be a digital creator or whatever. But let me know, guys, on topic. As parents, any parents in the chat of younger kids, do you limit screen time at home, or do you just let them, as long as they're quiet, you don't care? As long as they're doing their homework, they're getting good grades, they're going to bed on time. Do you limit their screen time, or do you just, you know, do whatever? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not perfect. I need to limit screen time, but I don't. I don't. But I definitely need to get better at that. Let him play it an hour or so after school when he gets home. That's something that I never said I'm perfect, so that's something that I definitely need to do is limit the screen time. I do pay attention though, and I do watch, whatever he's playing. Like I said earlier, if I notice that he's watching something, like it could be Mickey Mouse, and I'm listening to what they're saying to make sure that is a kid's version, because they have these adult versions that they're saying things that they shouldn't be, that they're cursing, that they're sexual, you know. So I am paying attention, even if I'm on freaking YouTube. My ears are open and I'm watching. Man, he's literally right next to me, as you guys, usually hear him. He's right next to me. So, but the screen time, I definitely need to start limiting. But I guess because he's only in kindergarten, so he only gets like two little pages of homework. We get that done, and you know, but I do have to get better at that. Allison, no TV Monday to Thursday. Oh, that's good. See, you're structured over there. That's very good. What about like technology, like tablets and stuff? Do they have any? That's what your man told your daughter. Why she snitched? He said, Jaylene, you are being messy. Why you tell your mom about your brother blocking her out? Yeah. But yeah, I gotta be honest, because that's reality. I'm not perfect. Shit. I am not perfect. And I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect just so people could like me. Please double tap that screen, guys. Double tap that screen. Like, share, comment. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I am on the road to 500 supporters. I'm almost there. I really would love if I could meet my goal by 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. I would love that for me. So yeah, I'm on the road to 500. So yeah, and of course, as always, I have to sell myself because I am not monetized. If you would like to donate to my channel, if you're enjoying this chat, please send me a cash app. It's pinned there. If you see it, it's BXQUEENC, BX Queen, the letter C. Yeah, so I'm not perfect and I don't need everybody to like me. I mean, but if you don't like me, that says something about you, honestly. Um, Oh, she said that Allison says that that was something recent because of school and we had to just cut it out. Trust me, it was hard. He does have a tablet, but Monday through Thursday, we don't use it unless it's like for reading. Okay. That's good. But it was good that you were able to do it, you know? I give you props for that, you know? I give you much props for that cuz it's not easy, you know? Their little tantrums they get, you don't you don't want them to not be happy, but I guess, you know. So if there's no TV and no tablet, what do they do after school? Did that force him, or I don't know, you said 7-year old, I'm not sure if it's a boy or a girl, but did it force them to like play with the toys they actually have, or do they do more schoolwork for those hours after school? What do they do instead of being on TV or their tablet? I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking for some advice. You know, it. Some people say it doesn't take a village. Some, ignorant people, but it definitely takes a village. When it comes to children. You know, and I want us to be a village on my channel. So, like I said, this is a no judgment zone. And any advice, I take to the heart and I do pay attention. So, if you're listening to this on a replay, if you have any advice for me about limiting screen time, doing it cold turkey, doing it little by little, let me know. What do you do in your home? Do you limit screen time? Are you afraid of what would you do if your child wanted to be like in the entertainment industry? If they wanted to be an actor, actress, if they wanted to be a model, what would you do? If they wanted to be in the music business, would you let them? What would you do if they wanted to? What advice would you give your younger self? Or this is for everybody. What advice would you give your younger self about fame and social media? You said he got so much toys, it's ridiculous, so he has to do homework. If you don't want to do if he doesn't want to do his homework, you allow him to play with his toys for a couple of minutes or like an hour and then we got to go. Start the homework assignment, or we'll be doing reading, or I just say use your mind, be creative. Yeah. We have paper, chalkboard. I have so many things in the house that you really is yeah. Yeah, her TV is not needed. You're right. You're right. My son too. Ooh, girl. My freaking living room look like it's a daycare because I have those like bins, those like different color bins that not closed bins, the open ones though. You know what I mean? That colorful bin things that they just put their toys in that you could separate the different kind of toys, like some are cars, some are like the little people, some have to do with like his tracks, his race tracks and cars, and some he has like all his learning things, like his the reader, whatever, that teaches them how to read, things like that. So he has all that. And then he has like real like plastic bins full of all his like Mickey Mouse cars, his Thomas trains, things like that. So I definitely have things for him to keep himself busy too. And I also have a thing of scholastic workbooks. So everything to learn to write, write, math, reading. I also have things like that. And then he has his little desk there. So my living room is like half daycare or half school, if you want to call it that. Thank you, J. Lou, for that gift, for that donation. I love you, sis. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the love, and I'm glad that you enjoy the chats. You said when your daughter was in high school and middle school, and your son was in middle school, you thought how much you would preach college to them, and I don't have my degree, so it became study time for us. We would talk about the day and do our homework. Yeah. I graduated from college the same year my daughter. That's so awesome. I love that. Yeah. I told my son too. I said, "How would you feel if I enroll in school with you?" He looked at me like, "You better not, girl. You better not, girl." But you would think that he would be, proud. But no, he didn't like that. He didn't like that idea. But no, I was telling you guys yesterday that with this new job, if I get it, which I'm gonna get it. We're putting that in the air also that I'm gonna get this job. I'm gonna get this job. So they do the tuition reimbursement. So I'm really gonna be enrolling in classes soon. As soon as I get the job, I'm already going to start looking. Maybe I'll start in January with the spring semester, or maybe I'll just, wait until next September. But, I'm definitely going to take advantage of whatever education I can get to further my career and myself. But yeah, that was great, J. Lou. I would have been so proud of you if if you were my mom, I would have been proud of you. I'm proud of you as a friend. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, so what advice would you give your younger self, or what advice do you give your children now about fame and social media, if any? Would you support laws that force social media apps to verify age or limit algorithms for kids? I think, of course, what parent wouldn't support these laws? You know, if there's a way to verify the age and limit the algorithms that the kids get into and what pops up on their screen, definitely. Thank you, Allison. I don't have it yet, but I'm manifesting it. This is the second time. They want to see me. The first time was through Zoom. Now they want to see me in person. So, and I wasn't expecting to hear anything from them till this week coming, and they called me the next day that they want to see me. So, yes, we're gonna put all that positivity in the air, and say that that job is mine. That's so nice. Yeah, those photos are definitely memories. I hope you have some on your wall, cuz that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. And the advice that I will give my younger self is always be yourself. Um, like I do now, honestly. I don't let what anybody says say whatever they say about me. I don't let it get to me. I have tough skin. I'm always going to have tough skin. um I'm not going to let it get to me emotionally. I'm not going to let it get to me at all, especially that I don't know these people in real life. So that's what I would tell my younger self. That's what I tell my children. And that social media is not everything. real life is what matters. So love the ones that are near and dear to you, you know, make a life, have fun with your friends in real life in real time, you know. Social media is just that, social media. You don't want that to be your life unless you have a job that social media is your job, because there's plenty of people that make six figures in that social doing social media, and not only being content creators, but I mean like for main companies posting on their company's website and things like that, that's what they do. So that's totally different if that's your employment. But just for leisure, no, you better not make social media your life. Thank you. Yes. TC says she would limit it for kids. I wish we could block I wish we could time block for them. Like you only can be on for this certain amount. Yeah. On certain tablets and stuff, you actually can. You allow them the time that you want them on. On some tablets, that they do have that function actually. Like that it shuts down, letting them go on the internet, letting them whatever in between the times that you put. Some tablets are like that. But yeah, just monitor them, having some screen time. If you want to, just let them do their homework when they get home from school, or give them a break for an hour, let them be on their tablet or whatever. But then it's time for work, school work, eating dinner, washing up, and then get ready for the next day, you know? But there are a lot of TikTok lawsuits going on right now. And there's even recent congressional hearings about child protection. So I'm sure sooner than later there will be many laws that have to do with social media. It's coming. It's definitely coming. So I don't know if the digital spaces will ever be safe. With all the technology, I really doubt it. But I guess if they have to hold people accountable for the things that they do, you know? There's a lot of documentaries on this. The whistleblowers, the journalists. There's a lot of creators that are calling out the exploitation of our children. Yep, TC. So this is a serious thing because, like I said, people are getting lured. Our children are getting lured because they believe the person on the other end is their age. Then they're getting lured to these places, sneaking out of home. You think you put them to bed and they're in bed and whatever, and they're sneaking out of home to meet these people, and bad things are happening. Bad things are happening. So we have to try to have that open communication with our children and try to put it in their head so they could really get it, that there's so many dangers that have to do with not only social media, but if they want to become famous, if they want to be a dancer, if they want to be even people in industries like ballet, you have to be careful with trainers. Like, these people are everywhere just waiting for that one child or children to put their guard down and believe their words, you know? So, what stood out to you tonight or today? Well, it's becoming nighttime now. But what stood out to you on whatever on everything we spoke about? What stood out to you guys? The dangers, the exploitation, the being scared, being on social media. What stood out to you? Do you think that these companies can really change, or are they just pretending to care when the camera's on them? I think for myself, I think that these companies, not companies, but people in general, if they are those kind of people, they're going to try anything. They're going to learn how to hide it. They're going to learn how to hide that behavior. They're going to scare our children to not speak up because something's going to happen to them. When certain people have the gift of gab, it's easy to manipulate people, but especially our children. So of course, even in front of us, if we get them into modeling, if we get them into acting, they're gonna act like, they're the best thing, like there's, next to sliced bread. They're gonna act like they're the best, when the camera's on them, when we're near them. But once we walk out that room, it could be a whole different story. So we definitely got to keep our eyes on our children on social media. If we are, gonna get them into any kind of public industry, we just got to always be by our child's side. And if we can't be by our child's side, we have to have a family member that we trust, that love our children like their own, that can be by their side as well. Never let your child go to auditions, never, of course, never let them go to their manager's house, nothing like that. Keep it professional at all times, you know? There's no reason why somebody should be going to somebody's house. Sorry. Business is business. Don't mix personal with business. That never works. So whether it's a Nickelodeon set in the 2000s or a TikTok feed these days in 2025, one thing hasn't changed. Kids are still being used as entertainment for adults and machines that don't care about their safety. It's up to us to change that, by paying attention, speaking up, and protecting the next generation the way no one protected those before them. So, just pay attention, pay attention. We have to be our child's advocate, like I said, and we just have to, have those conversations. Sometimes they're hard, but we definitely have to have those conversations with our children and let them know that we're just being parents, and that's what a parent does, is watch out for their safety. If we have to limit their screen time, if we have to take away their phones, that's just part of life. And they have to realize that it's not the end of the world if, we want to limit their screen time, if we want to limit their, phone use. They just have to know that we're there for them and to look out for them. And that's what we do as a real parent. And it does take a village to raise a child, no matter what. So, thank you for being here, everybody. I greatly appreciate you. Those of you that stood in here from the beginning to the end, I love you. I appreciate you. Everybody that came in between, I love you. I appreciate you. So, if you found this conversation great and important, please hit that like button. Share this live. Of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me because we're on the road to 500. And not only that, but because we'll keep exposing what really happens, in these social media streets and in life in general. So yeah. Um Let me know if you're watching the replay. Let me know. Do you think TikTok should be banned for kids? Let me know in the chat in the replay. Do you think TikTok should be banned for kids? Do you think social media should have a age limit? Do you think they should have an age verification? Let me know if you had any incidents that happened with your children, that you found them talking to somebody that they weren't supposed to, or trying to meet up with somebody. Yeah, chat with me in the comments to let me know that you were here. Thank you, Allison, for being here. Thank you, TC. Thank you, J. Lou. Thank you, Lily, Ryan, Jamaica. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if I missed anybody, please hold it to my mom brain. Don't hold it to my heart, okay? As always, if you would like to donate to my channel, please hit that Cash App, BX Queen C, BXQUEENC. I also have a buy me a coffee link, or in my case, it's buy me a coffee or water, because I love both coffee and water. It's another way to tip me, donate to my channel, and that is in my bio. I hope you guys have a great Saturday night. You know, if you're with your family, if you're with your loved ones, enjoy that time. If you're having date night, I hope you guys have a great time. Have fun for me, and I will catch you on the next one. See you guys later.